So basically, I was roaming through the internet like any other internetic, and I found this one trend about pressing blue buttons. So I went like, okay, that's cool. I like blue and I like buttons, and I decided to look into it. But then I found out there was a red button, and I was like, okay, red button, nothing too wide. And apparently it's a moral dilemma about people dying, so I decided to take a peek. The dilemma goes like this. There are two buttons, one red and one blue, and everyone in the world must press one of them. If the majority presses red, everyone who pressed red lives while those who pressed blue die. If everyone presses blue, then everyone, including who pressed red, will live. What do you press? When being faced with this Didier question, a caveman might go like, oh, blue is good cause live. So I press blue, but this is wrong. As well, if you press blue and the majority doesn't, you die anyways. I immediately thought if I press red, I live, which is, correct. So I decided to look up what people were saying to this very obvious question, and apparently this has created fights. Like, I've seen people saying Spider-Man would press blue BTW. Like, bro, what? I'm not Spider-Man, loudly crying face. First of all, the most and pretty much only recurring argument I saw for red Butoniers was that if everyone presses red, everyone lives, to which I said, yeah, that's true, that's what I'm saying. But the blue Butoniers fought against with a just answer of not everyone's going to press red, which, well, is obviously true. They're stupid people and babies. So this question turns into, is the majority of humanity smart or dumb? I think we all know the answer to that. Red or blue is exactly 50-50. This is a very good consideration, as I've seen people try to solve this dilemma with game theory, but not accounting for irrationality. Basically, the most important scenario of all is a case in which half the people press blue and half press red, which is obviously extremely unlikely, but that's the point. It's up for you to decide which one wins. This means the probability that your choice actually saves the world is of the chance that a 50-50 happens among around 8 billion people choosing randomly, which is clearly very low at around 1 in 112,000. But still, it being very low, it's still high enough to matter, and I'll explain why in a bit. First, we must address the elephant in the room. Some or all of you may have noticed that there are people being born at every second. This means the number of people in the world is constantly changing, which too means that the number will never be perfectly odd or perfectly even with certainty. Not that you know of. This means you don't really know if your choice can do anything. Let's assume there's an odd number of people without you included, 8 billion and 1, for instance, if you press any of the buttons in a case in which the situation is at 4 billion and 1 to 4 billion. You'll at best get a 50-50, which I haven't really seen defined, even though it is very important. So define it how you will. I'll define a 50-50 as being the average between both scenarios, since with majority red, all blues die, and with majority blue, everyone lives. I'll assume in the case there's exactly a 50-50, half blue die. Anyways, this means that by pressing blue in this scenario, you essentially save 2 billion people, which is, well, a lot, but that's important. In the case there's an odd number of people pressing before you, you pressing blue has a chance of around 1 in 56,000 to save 2 billion people at best. This means you expectedly save around 35.8 thousand people on average by pressing blue. You always have a 100% chance of saving yourself by pressing red, which means that by pressing red, you save one person. This is very summarized, but it's very obvious pressing blue has more expected value than red. I could get into how expected value. Reasoning is a little convoluted, but this is not the point of this video. The point is, if there's an odd number of people before you, you pressing blue will save 2 billion people 1 in 112,000 times. Not only that, but if there's a 1 to tie in blue's side, by pressing red you essentially kill 2 billion people, which means you save people by not pressing red also. Why is the reason as to why the chance of you saving 2 billion people is 1 in 56,000 and not 1 in 112,000, since the scale can bend to either side. And if there's an even number of people before you, by pressing blue, you save 4 billion people in 1 in 112,000 chance, which is also at around 35,000 people saved on average. Essentially, all of this means that if you're a red Butonier, you can think of your own life as worth 35,600 others, which some call selfish, but you can only have the right to say something like that if you save 35,000 lives, which I don't think you have. So think better before calling yourself smart upon the press of a red button. Also, I could have gone into a deeper mechanism on about the chance that one's rationality is put to waste to measure a deserved cost of choice and use some crazy game theory calculation. But this could be used for another video. I'm also trying to make this thing called a Minecraft ARG, which I've already written since 2025, but haven't had the resources to do so. The thing is very detailed and well planned. So if you could subscribe, like, and recommend this video, it would really help. Thanks.